Hello and welcome back to the channel. You join me here today and we are about to set off to Cadwell Park for my first open pit lane track day. So disaster has struck. We are just about to leave and I thought I better just check the lights on the van, obviously for the trailer, because I know they worked on the pickup, but I thought I haven't actually so the trailer lights are fine. I thought I better just check them before I set off in the van, and nothing worked. So we've narrowed it down to this module is toast. Now, I didn't actually get it on video, but I don't know if you can see the remnants at the bottom. I've tried to clean it up, but it was all corroded in the bottom of here. Get my bypass out of the way. So in the bottom of here, I cleaned it up, and then one of the little, I don't know, resistor or transistors or whatever they are, was a little one about there, and it dropped off. So that unit is toast. But I thought I'll just try it because this the trailer lights are all LED, and I thought I wonder if it would upset the van if we just kind of connected the feed in for like the indicators, brake lights. So I just tried it on the indicator. So obviously this side is connected into the van lights, and then would only come into this module. So I thought, well, LED lights are fairly low load, so I thought, well, that would upset the van's electrics if it was powering, you know, just the light, an LED light on the trailer. Anyway, I've tried it with the left-hand indicator and it's working absolutely fine. So I think just to get the job going and get it down the road, I'm going to just bypass, put them direct, obviously just check and see if it works, and if it works for this trip, we'll just crack on, and then I'll get another one of these CAN modules organised and get it replaced in the future. And there is my little bypass on the wiring. And look, we've got indicators going. And the indicators going. Now, I've done session track days before, but this is the first open pit lane one I've done, and first time at Cadwell Park. So as you can see, hopefully behind me, we are all set up and ready to go. It's Saturday today. We're going to go down today. The track day is tomorrow. So I'm going to drive down, camp at the circuit overnight in the van, and then track day tomorrow. Now it is about 2 o'clock, so I should have been away a little bit quicker than this, but about to head down the road now. Cadwell is just probably Grimsby, south of Grimsby, inland a bit is kind of where it is. So we're about to hit the road now, and I'm going to bring you along for the journey. So we're up onto the dual carriageway now, and we've got the Clio obviously on the trailer behind it. I'm quite impressed with how the transporter's pulling it. It's the first time I've really towed anything with this. I've towed the odd little thing with the transporter just around the doors locally, but I've never kind of took anything bigger on a big further journey. But I can say this so far, it's sitting just cruising at 60. Which I know the speed will be just a little bit off having the bigger wheels on, just probably going a little bit more than that. But we're on 60, we're doing 60, and yeah, it's handling it fine. So we're just, like I say, we've only been on the road about half an hour, just up on the dual carriageway, so mixture of, you know, little roads and then a dual carriageway, and doing okay. Well, we're making good progress. We've got about another half an hour to go to get to Cadwell Park. Anyhow, we're not that far away now. I just wanted to mention, done one stop on the way down, just the services, toilet, coffee break. For anybody that's interested, I reset the fuel average consumption on the transporter when we set off. So it's averaging just over 27 miles to the gallon. That's kind of sitting at 60 with the car on the back. Now this, with these wheels and stuff on, only gets about 32, 33 anyway, so it's kind of 5-6-ish mile to gallon worse off towing the trailer, which I don't think is too bad. And like I say, the van has been absolutely fantastic so far in towing the car trailer behind. Morning guys, it is 7 o'clock in the morning, and actually there's just noticed there's some cars, just more cars pulling into the car park bit here at Cadwell. Basically gonna get some coffee, get some breakfast, and then sign on is 7:30. New driver briefing is 8:45, and then sighting laps at 9. So that's the plan this morning. We camped at the circuit here last night. Slept all right. It was nice and quiet. We went for food down in Louth, I think it's called. Went to a pub called the Greyhound. Got pizza. Was spot on the food there, to be fair. Parking's not the best, but we did get parked up the street. But anyhow, that's where we are this morning. So get sorted before we get on track. Right, I forgot to mention last night when we came back, the Clio wasn't running very well. So I've taken it for a little run this morning, and I'll be honest, it's not looking good. It's misfiring. It's running on 3 cylinders. Now, it's done this before, years ago, when it had been parked up for a while. It did this, and then it came okay. I took it for a bit of a run, got it warmed up, and it was all right. But what's frustrating with this is, it was fine when we went down to Louth last night, and then it was just kind of halfway back, it started as you can hear, it does clear, but it's just not 100% right. I'm gonna be a bit devastated, to be honest, if I can't. It's even backfiring. Oh, please start working, baby. It gets to there and it comes back to life. Now, what could it be? Spark plugs, coil pack. It's not right, like. It's no happy. I don't know if I want to go down this steep hill. This is a steep hill. It won't get back up. Oh no! I think I might turn around here because I don't want to go down this big hill. Well, it's what? Doesn't sound right there again. It's improving dramatically. Glad I don't have to drive it home. Having said that, I've got faith in her. I mean, I didn't really need this morning, but anyhow, we are where we are. I mean, I'm following a Ford Transit here, and thankfully he's not hanging about. So if I've got my timing right here, you should have probably just seen me test driving the Clio on Sunday morning at Cadwell. Now, the car had been misfiring, So I took it for a run and then got back to the circuit and it was running all right. So after that, we were going to the driver, get signed on and then go to the driver briefing. Now, funny as it may seem, the guy organising the track day give Clio's a bit of a jip during the drivers meeting, and there was comments made about, oh, if there isn't any Renault Clios, we should have a decent day for breakdowns. But anyhow, as luck would have it, went back to the car and we're going to do the sighting laps, and the car acted itself all the way around the sighting lap. So it had been run, it was warmed up, and then because we'd sat in a queue for a bit to get onto the sighting laps. But anyway, it was misfiring, run on 3 cylinders, the duration of the couple of sighting laps. So I came back and assessed what we were going to do. Now I've got the car here now, I'll spin you around and show you what we did. So the first thing I did was plug my code reader into the car. Now it was just the only fault code reader to do with the engine the way it was running was, I think it was catastrophic misfire. Basically possible damage to the cat can be caused was basically all the fault code said. So a misfire, it's going to either be fuel or spark normally, so that was kind of where we started. Did have a little bit of help from a friend who's got a bit more experience with petrol engines than what I have. A lot of my previous experience is more diesel engines, industrial, agricultural, construction, that sort of stuff. But anyway, took the inlet manifold off, checked the spark plugs, leads, that sort of thing. Now, I think it was number 1 or number 2. There was a bit of kind of corrosion around the end of the ignition lead, spark plug lead, but the actual connection to the spark plug and inside the lead looked quite clean. So there wasn't anything obvious there. We then took the spark plugs out, and again, number 1 or number 2, there was a bit of corrosion around the bottom of the spark plug. So obviously a bit of water getting in, but again, it was a good seal, where it had been screwed into the head. They were all tight. Looking at the actual spark plugs, they looked clean, good condition. So that was all good. So as a test, what we did was we left them out, put the leads all back on, and then sat them on the head, spun the engine over, make sure they're all sparking. The only thing at that point, the sparks possibly were a little bit on the weak looking side, but they were all still working. So we got them put back in, put it all back together, just in case it had been a bad connection around the car, but still had this slight misfire when under a bit of load. So we then moved on to the fuel rail, which is down here. So injector on each cylinder. So we started by revving the engine, getting it where it was, you could hear the misfire, and then disconnecting the injector at a time. Number 2 didn't seem to make that much of a difference when we're unplugging it. Whereas obviously 1, 3 and 4, when you unplugged it, was massive difference to the engine notes. I thought, wonder if number 2 injector's possibly the cause. So we pulled the fuel rail off and pulled the injectors out, and we're just going to swap 1 and 2 to see if it swapped the fault. But we had the idea of, right, why don't we just, turn the rail over, put all the injectors in, connect it all up, disconnect the coil pack. So there's no sparks or anything like that. Turned the rail so it's facing out, spun the engine over, and obviously you could see each injector injecting. Now, all 4 injectors seem to be injecting fine, but we thought, well, we'll swap the 1 and 2 round anyway, put it back together, and unfortunately, it still had the misfire. Now, it did possibly seem slightly better again, so I thought, look, I'll take it for a run up the road, see what it does. So I took it for a run up the road, got a couple of miles, hadn't improved. So at that point, to be honest, I'd kind of given up a bit, and thought, right, I'll just head back. This is going to be the track day totally knocked on the head. But as I was heading back to the circuit, it did what it did first thing on the Sunday morning. It cleared and it started running okay again. Power was back under load. It was running fine. So I got back into the car park, into the paddock, popped the bonnet just because obviously we'd had a few bits and pieces off here. I wanted to make sure there was no leaks or anything like that. So I had a check of that. Everything looked fine. And I just thought, right, we'll just go for it. So I took the car out on track for the first session of the day. and it performed absolutely fantastically. Never missed a beat, ran fine. The only problem was probably my driving, to be honest. But other than that, the car ran great. So problem was solved at that point, and I can report the car did another 3 or 4 sessions during the day without any problems at all. Well, that is us home now, and obviously back in the garage with the car. So just wanted to go through the kind of travel back and a couple of things about the track day. Now, traveling back, we came back on the Sunday night, so it was a long drive as we didn't leave Cadwell at about 5 o'clock and then headed all the way back up home with the trailer on. So it's a good 4 hours home. I did have another little issue on the way home. Now, it does feel like this whole weekend has been marred with problems. But having said that, you know, these things happen in life. You know, you run into problems all the time. When you get 3 problems over one weekend, it does feel like a lot. Anybody would agree. But you've just got to battle through these things and move on. So the third and final thing of the weekend was bringing the car back up the road. I stopped at Weatherby Services. Now, pulled into Weatherby, and I was convinced I'd put the car key on the passenger seat with me wallet, a few other bits and pieces. Pulled into Weatherby Services just to get the toilet and a cup of coffee and grab a sandwich because it was like 7:30 at night. Now, as I pulled in, I was looking on the passenger seat for the car key, wasn't there, so I spent 10-15 minutes at Weatherby Services looking for the car key. Couldn't find it. So at that point, I thought, right, I just need to hit the road. So I went and got myself a coffee and a sandwich, quickly munched that, went to the petrol station, topped the van up because I did have to put a bit of fuel in the van to get back home. Now, once I got back home, the way my garage is at home, I managed just to, I had another look for the key, still couldn't find it. So I managed to just back the trailer up to the garage, tip the trailer, rolled the car into here, shut the door, put everything away. So it was getting on for 9, 10 o'clock by this point. Still no sign of the key, but it's not all bad news, because on the next day, I had another look in the van in the daylight, and what had happened was the key had dropped down the double seat in the front of the transporter, which you'll know if you've watched the tour video. Double front seat, so there's a gap where the seatbelt buckle clips into where the connector is, and it's a tight fit, but the key can drop through then into the bottom. So that was where I found the key. So that was the third and final issue of the weekend, I suppose. But Cadwell itself, it's the first time I've been. It's the first open pit lane session I've done before. Thoroughly enjoyed the, how it works, where you just kind of go on a track, do a bit of time, and then come off when you're ready. So you can do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. They do encourage you to not stay out for hours and hours, to give everybody a chance to get enough track time. But every time we went on the track, got literally pretty much straight on. So that brings us to another little problem I wanted to discuss. Now, when I was younger, I used to suffer from travel sickness quite badly, mostly in the car. But as I kind of got older, I seemed to get better. Now, I've never had any problems when I've been driving the car. So I've been to the Nürburgring, things like that. I could drive around it myself, absolutely fine, feel fine. Try to go around with somebody else, obviously driving quite fast. I was always feeling a bit queasy by the end. I only did 1 or 2 laps with my friends as a passenger because of that. I've never had a problem when I've been driving. So at Cadwell in the morning, this was the first time I went out and did 4 or 5 laps and started feeling a bit sick. So this has got us kind of worried, because my plans for the future are to buy another little car and build it into more of a proper track day car. Because the Clio, although it's a hot hatch, it's a quick little car, I'm kind of trying to refurbish it and restore it and keep it good, with the hope that it's worth some money one day. So I kind of don't really want to keep using it on track. So my plan was to get another little car, spend a bit of money on it, get some decent wheels and tyres, do the suspension, go down the proper track car route. Now, I'm a bit concerned that if I'm going to do that, because it's obviously not that enjoyable if after a half a dozen laps you feel sick. Now, I went out in the afternoon after I had my dinner, and I was a lot better in the afternoon. So I need to have a bit more experiment, I suppose. And there's a few, you can get travel sickness tablets. There's a few different remedies, bracelets, bangle things. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment with a couple of them, and obviously let you guys know how I get on with that. So I suppose that wraps up this video. If you would like to see any other videos about the Clio, there is a playlist, and I will put that on screen now. If you enjoy these videos and this type of content, would love you to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.